Hi, my name is Anisa, and I'm just about to have a cup of tea. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about stress. So, a lot of us suffer from stress, and I think that taking time for a cup of tea is a perfect way to deal with our stress. Usually, when we have a cup of tea or when we pour a cup of tea, we're not even present. We're caught up thinking about everything else but the cup of tea. And I wanted to encourage you to use your time, use this tea time to center yourself, to put things on pause. Instead of like pouring yourself a cup of tea and going to do about a million things at once. First of all, it's not good for your brain and it's not good for your nervous system. And when you're doing that, you're creating the energy to be more dispersed and becoming more scattered in your body and mind. So if you just allow yourself to just come back to the here and the now and connect with whatever it is that you're doing. And the tea time, it's such a beautiful time because we feel the aromas of the tea, we watch the hot water pouring, and there's something quite soothing about that. And I think we can all agree. I mean, that's why we all love like our coffee time or our tea time. It's that time where we can just like, but what happens? We pick up the phone, we're holding our tea, and where are we now? We're nowhere. We're everywhere and nowhere. And this is not a place that is conducive or wholesome. So we're here and nowhere. We're nowhere really. We're just dispersed, lost in the past or the future, but we're certainly not present. And when we allow ourselves to come back here, then we are really touching life. We are being available for ourselves, for our feelings, for watching life unfold as it is. And it is when we are in that state at if we're going to talk a little bit technical, like our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest, starts to switch on, right? Even our heart rate starts to decrease, our breathing starts to change, and we feel that we can start noticing as well, like when we're breathing from, the upper chest, we're stuck in that fight or flight response, which is the sympathetic nervous system, which is only creating more stress. So we want to breathe into the lower belly. So when you're pausing and you're going through your tea ritual, I want you to feel the earth below you. I want you to relax your lower belly. I want you to breathe into your lower belly. I want you to notice what is actually happening. Notice the colors, notice the smell. Become intimate with life, intimate with yourself, with those little moments of life, which is all we ever really have. So stress is an interesting phenomenon. We have stress all the time, by the way. And it's not only negative, it can also be, like this positive stress, for example, like pregnancy or meeting someone that we love at the airport, or, it can be a lot of beautiful stressful moments that helps us to grow and to be creative. And then there's that other part of stress where we just become caught in something that hasn't happened yet. Yeah. So we project something in the future of how something is going to unfold. And we get carried away with our story and very in a lot of details. And the practice in Buddhism, in spirituality, doesn't even have to be Buddhism, but just our practice is to start recognizing when, that anxiety or that stress starts to bubble up to the surface. Okay, when we start to create those imaginary situations of how something is going to unfold. So we can be very kind in doing that. We don't have to be forceful or beat ourselves up about it and be like, oh, here I am, I'm doing that again. That's not wholesome. That's not kind. So you can just embrace yourself, embrace that stress, that whatever kind of stress it is, that is actually natural and part of life. And you embrace it with your mindfulness and with tenderness. And you just look at it and you recognize, you're like, it's you again. You can even smile at it. You can start cultivating a sense of lightness to it, okay? And say, oh, it's you again. I'm getting caught up again, and just notice, and then just say, okay. Just try to cut the story as soon as you can. Okay, just like, okay, that was very intricate. We're not there yet. Okay, and just keep coming back to being present. So if we practice the practice of observation, we notice that, nothing is permanent, right? Things are always coming and going. Even the stress in our life, it comes and goes. Our feelings, they come and go. Okay, so nothing remains. So there is something in the backdrop. There's a kind of broad field of awareness where these emotions or these feelings come and go, okay? And this backdrop, this broader field of emptiness, which is not really emptiness, it's kind of like vastness, but a vastness that is full, a beautiful fullness. It's not really empty, we just call it emptiness. So this backdrop is where everything arises and fades away. And so when we realize that we are this backdrop, the true you is this background awareness, we start to dissociate ourselves with, and we also not only start to dissociate ourselves in a proper way, but we let go of our preferences. We just let life unfold. So it's a kind of choicelessness, okay? And we become more inclusive to whatever comes and goes in that broad field of awareness. So we can incorporate the practice of this simple observation and staying in that background awareness, because there's no such thing as staying anywhere. You are always in that background awareness, and it's often that egoic self that is like pulling you or tricking you, really, because there's no such thing as pulling you away from what you are, but it's like tricking you that you are this stress. And so staying in that background awareness and just kindly and just with a lot of wisdom, with these wise, kind eyes. And you can use this practice along with other stress management techniques, such as going for a walk in nature, breathing, yoga, drinking a healthy tea that helps to calm your body and mind. And I will get on to the tea. I love this tea. It's an incredible herb, and I really want to go through this with you, because when we're talking about stress, we have to stop thinking that there's one fix for it all. It's not like that. We're not separate parts. We're not separate parts. We're everything in one, okay? And so when we approach ourselves, we have to combine different tools to help us to come back to that mind of equanimity. So Ayurveda is like the oldest medical system in the world. It's a pretty big statement, isn't it? But it's true. It's the most ancient. And so if we break down the word Ayu, and Ayu means life, and Veda means knowledge. So directly translated, it's like the knowledge of life and longevity. It's really a beautiful translation, in my opinion. So when we're under moments of stress, or just like general stress, basically, whether we're basically when we're in a heightened state of stress, usually the gland that works the most and kicks in is the adrenal gland. And so your adrenal glands are like situated just above your kidneys. And when you're under a lot of stress, what happens is that it releases hormones, right? Hormones that like we need to be able to stay alive. But so much more than that, it releases cortisol. And cortisol is usually considered to be like the stress hormone, which is an easy way to remember it. So when we release too much cortisol for a long period of time, it can have a lot of like negative effects on our health, which we all know, and we've all heard about the great list of effects that stress can cause, okay, like on our hearts, on our blood pressure, and so on. So let's not get into too much detail with that. So Tulsi is classified as an adaptogen. So let me repeat that again, because some of you may not have heard of it. So it's called adaptogen. So adaptogens are like a class of herbs, or it's got this adaptogenic compound in the herb, which helps the body to cope with stress. So Tulsi has so many amazing properties, and it's so good for the immune system. It's antimicrobial, it's antibacterial, and it's really good specifically for the respiratory system. But it also has a gentle detoxification on the kidneys and the liver as well. So Tulsi actually also has another name which is really famous, and it's referred to as holy basil, or the queen of all herbs. And you can see why, with all these incredible properties that it has, and has this amazing ability to also give you endurance. So it helps with endurance and stamina as well. So this tea, Organic India, the reason why I like it is because it combines like 3 different varieties of Tulsi. And the first one is Vana Tulsi, and it gives you this little hint of lemon. The other one is Krishna Tulsi, which has these like spicy tones. And then the depth of Rama Tulsi. So those 3 combinations are quite potent. And you can have the Tulsi for like several cups a day for a long period of time, and it won't have like side effects like other things that you can have, whether it's herbal or non-herbal. So it's a beautiful tea to strengthen your immune system. Helps to support your adrenal glands with the stress response, and it does taste really nice. And so, yeah, you can have it even at night because it doesn't stimulate you. On the contrary, it will help to soothe your nervous system. So if you want to get a 15% discount and try this amazing tea and see how it affects your body and mind, you can go on Organic India, the website, and when you go on to checkout, you can just put my name, which is Anisa, Anisa, and you'll get the discount. So let me know how you go with the tea. I'd love to hear from you and how you feel when you're drinking it. Like it has so many incredible effects on the whole body and mind. So thanks to Organic India for sharing this incredible product. And it's certified organic as well. So you can rest assured that the farmers are well taken care of. There's no sprays on it, and it comes from a beautiful place. Okay, well, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.